Hi everyone. Today I'm going to have a look at this gizmo that's out there at the moment. It's SVBONY power hub, USB hub, and I think it's going to be really useful to help my non-existent cable management in the observatory. So let's see what this is, and let's get it wired up and see how we get on. I'm Dr. Ray, and welcome to AstroGadge. Okay, so here's the box it arrives in. Just adequate packaging as far as I can tell. Oh, here's the unit itself, which I'll talk about in a second. What else? Oh, got some leads supplied for it. Power leads and USB leads. The cigar. Yeah, good. And a little user manual. Very good. Okay. So looking at the unit itself, it's the size of my hand. Right, so what we've got here in terms of communications, we've got two USB 3s, one USB 2, and a Type C as well. So pretty much all the bases covered with respect to that. It's got the inputs here. I don't know if that's coming over on the video or not, but essentially it's a 12 volt input. It will take up to 10 amps. USB 3 output for the laptop or computer. It has four 12 volt DC outputs here and two 12 volt outputs here. Now these individually can take up to 10 amps, but between obviously the number you have in use, the maximum between these will be up to 10 amps. So it's not 10 amps total each, it's 10 amps shared between 6 if you've got them all operational. That makes sense. It has these two USB outputs here, which is purely for power. They're not for communication. So for example, you've seen in a previous video I used the Gemini focuser, which is powered by USB. You could just power it from that, or indeed using the Daystar Quark that I use for solar imaging. The heater tuner again can be powered from this, and the output from this is 8 amps maximum output. Likewise, each of these maximum output 8 amps, which far exceeds anything I think I'm going to use. At the back, it's got an M4 photo screw, which would be useful for mounting it. And it's got a couple of power indicators here showing that the 5 volt and 12 volt capabilities are functional. So let's go and set this up with my in my observatory with the EQ8R and the 2600 MC Pro, as well as the guiding camera and the electronic focuser. I'm hoping this will improve my somewhat shoddy cable management, which I have to say has been getting me down a bit. So let's see how we get on. Hey folks, so here we can see I've mounted the unit to the mount pier. See around the side here, I've just used a little metal bracket and some screws, and it's pretty solid, I have to say, pretty solid. And compared to my previous cable management, this has worked well. The thing I should say about this is the EQ8R. It has an internal power loom which I use here, so I don't really need the power outputs on this unit. However, if I'm using my other mount, the EQ6, then this will definitely come into play. Likewise, this EQ8R has a USB hub. However, it says it's USB 3 compatible. Before I got the ZWO 2600 MC Pro, I was using a CCD camera which worked on USB 2. So up until that point I didn't realise, but although it says USB 3 on this mount, it is not USB 3 compatible at all, as I found out. That's another story. Thank you very much, Skywatcher. Because this unit has a USB 3 hub, this actually makes it much easier to connect the USB 3 cameras that I have, one of which you'll see in a second. So the way I've configured this is this simply goes straight to the laptop, as you can see, and the control of the mount goes in here into the USB 2 bracket, and that means I've got two USB 3 inputs here, as well as a Type C. Now, at the moment, I'm using the 5-volt USB outputs, and I'm going to, the way I've got it set up today is I'm going to be taking some solar images using the Daystar Quark, which needs a 5-volt supply to actually heat the Etalon for tuning purposes of it. So that's worked out really well. I just simply plug in a USB cable into the 5-volt output, and there we go. All works very well. The USB 3 cable is connected to the ASI 178 monochrome camera, which I use for lunar and solar imaging. So we only have the one camera connected at the moment. There's no need for a tracking camera for use with PhD. When I use the catadioptric telescope for solar system work, this is going to be really useful for powering the Gemini focuser, which I showed you in a previous video and reviewed. So this will work very well with that, and it has done. I've checked it. I forgot to say at the beginning of the video, this unit costs £48 UK pounds. I'll put what the equivalent in dollars and euros is underneath in a minute. But certainly, you know, it's helped me tidy everything up. Instead of having a connection to the mount from the computer and the connection to the cameras and so on and so forth, this just means I have the one cable, which makes everything much simpler. So when I'm using the ASI 2600 MC Pro along with the star tracker and camera and the electronic focuser, then the USB 3 simply connects to the camera, which also has a hub in it which connects to the auto tracking and the focuser, and just into the same port as the SVBONY hub. And I have to say, I've tested this out and it all works wonderfully well. Just simplifies the whole setup. As I said, I'm using the power distribution in the mount itself rather than on the little hub, just purely because it's easier. But these ports here and here will be very useful when I use it on my other mount, as I said, which is the EQ6, which I take away from this site occasionally. So this is going to be incredibly useful then. I forgot to say earlier that this comes with all manner of protection. If the voltage exceeds 12 volts, then the unit cuts out. It has reverse polarity protection and electrostatic discharge protection as well, so your equipment is protected. As I say, it'll take up to 10 amps. My power supplies 7.5. I think it's 8 amps, I believe. So everything's good in terms of the power. Well folks, that's it for this session. I'm actually really very pleased and impressed by that little unit. I think it certainly helped me out with the cable management in the observatory, and certainly with my mobile rig it's going to help a great deal actually. I know it's a passive system in that you can't adjust the power outputs using an app, a remote app for example. But I think for a passive system, the price point of it and the quality of the build and its basically its usefulness, practicality, I think it's difficult to beat it really for what it is. And if you're like me and really rubbish at cable management, I think it will make a big difference to you. And also, if you have a rig that you move away from your home, I think again a very useful product. Like I say, for £48, gave the dollar and euro equivalent earlier. For £48, I think it's really very good value. Anyway, I haven't been on much recently because it hasn't been astronomically dark here since the beginning of May, and it's now June the 21st, which means here it's going to be the summer solstice, which means from now on the skies will be getting dark again, and hopefully we'll have some astronomically dark skies around about end of August, September time. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've also been busy doing various other things, and I've been on holiday, and I've also, if you're wondering why my throat sounds a bit daft, is because I've actually had a dose of COVID, which was a bit unpleasant. But I'm okay now, so onwards and upwards, as I say. But thanks again for watching. I hope you find it useful. Please help the channel subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. If you subscribe, it just means that you get a heads up when I produce any further content. And again, if you like the content, please use the thumbs up. So Again, thanks for watching, and remember, keep watching the skies.
Watch the skies everywhere. Keep looking. Keep watching the skies.